a bunch of common losers, and a few lucky winners. Is that what you think life is? A lottery? Why would life ever pay you for work you never did? See, this is the part nobody wants to hear. You want the reward, but you keep skipping the cost. You want the result, but you keep avoiding the process. And when life gives you back exactly what your efforts deserve, you call it unfair, unjust, or bad luck. But is it? Or is it just accurate? Because life doesn't care what you meant to do. It doesn't care what you planned to start. And it's not moved by what you talked about changing. It responds to what you actually do, what you repeat, what you practice, what you tolerate, what you avoid. And if the output, the result you're getting, is not what you want, then stop arguing with it and start questioning the input behind it. Because in life, what you put in is what you get out. And when I say what you put in is what you get out, I'm not pretending life is perfectly fair. I'm not saying everyone starts from the same place. And I'm definitely not saying effort always pays you back the second you give it. But pretending that your input has nothing to do with your outcome is just another way to avoid responsibility. A result always comes from somewhere. Sometimes the source is obvious. Other times it takes a little honesty to see it. But either way, what comes out of your life is connected to what's gone into it. Not once, not randomly, but repeatedly over time. And the longer you ignore that connection, the longer you keep blaming the result instead of questioning what created it. Because most of the time, the result is not the mystery. The input is. One good day can start something, but it cannot carry everything. What matters is whether that day continues into another one. Disregarding this can only move you in circles. A workout here, a plan there, some focus on this, some promise to that. It feels like movement because it is something. And although something can point you forward, it won't move you far. The first day usually feels different because it breaks the pattern. There is energy and intention in it. There is that small moment where you feel like something might finally shift. But the real test comes after that feeling settles. When it's not new anymore. When nobody's watching. When the mood might even be gone. When the same life that pulled you off track before starts asking for your attention again. Because most people don't stop all at once. They slowly return to what feels familiar. They don't fall back in one dramatic moment. They drift back through small choices, ones that might barely feel important. That is where the input becomes honest. Because the first day shows intention, the days after show direction. And once the moment passes, the results start matching what you continue to give. Just think about how ridiculous this would sound anywhere else. Pour the wrong fuel into a car, then blame the engine for not running right. Type the wrong password 10 times, then call the phone unfair because it won't open. Spend money every day, ignore the account, then act shocked when the balance is low. In every other area, you understand cause and effect. You understand that things respond to their stimuli. But when it comes to your own life, that same logic starts disappearing. Now the people ahead of you just got lucky. The timing had to be better for them. The world opened doors for them while closing yours. And yes, life can be complicated. Some people do start with some advantages. Some people do face heavier obstacles. But complication does not cancel contribution. It makes honesty more important. Because even with all the things that are outside of your control, you are still participating in what your life becomes. Every day, something gets added. Effort or avoidance. Standards you protect or standards you let slip. Patterns you interrupt or patterns you keep feeding. None of it disappears just because life is complicated. Results may not come back instantly. They may not come back perfectly, but they still have something to answer to. So if you keep acting like what goes in has nothing to do with what comes out, life will keep proving you otherwise. And the easiest way to understand this is to look at where it already shows up. In your body and mind, in your relationships and in your future. A body that keeps running on poor sleep, cheap food, stress, and no exercise will eventually start to reveal itself. It may show up as heaviness, low energy and stiffness, a general feeling that you're just dragging yourself through the day instead of moving through it. The mind works the same way. When it keeps taking in noise, distraction, and social pressure, clarity is lost. Relationships become affected as well. Silence changes the room. Avoidance changes the tone. Half-truths change the trust. The words you keep holding back still find a way to show up. And this doesn't stop with what you feel right now. It follows you into what you're building next. Your future is being shaped by the actions you keep taking today, not by what you hope will happen or by what you keep imagining, but by what you actually do with your time, focus, patience, and decisions. That's why input can be easy to miss. It's not always one big choice. Sometimes the input hides in plain sight until the results finally forces you to see it. So before you call life unfair, before you call the result bad luck, before you decide nothing is working for you, look at what you're giving your life. Effort or avoidance, care or neglect, standards you protect or standards you keep lowering when things get uncomfortable. Because the result isn't something you complain about. It's feedback, clear enough to interrupt the lie you keep living with. Not to shame you, but to show you what needs changing next. And once you see that, you have a choice. Keep giving the same input and face the same output, or change what goes in while it's still in your hands. Not perfectly or instantly, but honestly. Give your life effort behind what you want. Give it honesty where excuses lived, and action where intentions stop. And when you compare what's been going in with what keeps coming out, you'll find another opportunity to awaken and evolve.